Have you ever wondered about the wealth of Yemen, a small country tucked away in the corner of the Arabian Peninsula? This is a nation that wears the cloak of antiquity with pride. Yemen, a land of rugged mountains and sweeping deserts, lies at the southernmost tip of the Arabian Peninsula. It's a place where history runs deep, and its people, a melting pot of cultures, are the keepers of tales spun from the threads of millennia. But Yemen's wealth is not just rooted in its rich tapestry of cultures and history. This small nation is also endowed with natural resources that play a significant role in shaping its economy and its place on the global stage. One of Yemen's key resources is its oil reserves. While not as abundant as its neighbor Saudi Arabia, Yemen's oil still holds immense value. It contributes significantly to the country's economy, becoming a lifeline for many Yemenis. Yet, Yemen's wealth goes beyond its oil reserves. Its geographical location is a treasure in its own right. Yemen sits astride the al-Mandab Strait, one of the world's key maritime choke points. This narrow waterway is a vital artery for global trade, connecting the Red Sea to the Indian Ocean. Every day, millions of barrels of oil and other goods pass through this strait, underlining its strategic importance. Now, imagine the potential of this small country with its oil and its strategic location. But wealth isn't just about resources or strategic locations. It's about the people who inhabit the land, their resilience and their dreams. It's about the rich history that has shaped their identity and the culture that adds color to their daily lives. Yemen's wealth is a woven tapestry of natural resources, strategic location, and a rich cultural heritage. But it's also a story of potential, of what could be achieved with peace and stability. So, the wealth of Yemen isn't just about numbers or barrels of oil, it's much more than that. Now imagine a war breaking out in the Red Sea, a crucial maritime route. What could that mean for Yemen and, more importantly, for the world? Picture the Red Sea, a body of water approximately 220,000 square miles in size. Nestled between Africa and Asia, it's a strategic passageway that sees over 10% of global maritime trade. It's a vital artery for the global economy, one that carries billions of barrels of oil every year, from the oil-rich Middle East to the energy-hungry markets of Europe, Asia, and the Americas. Now let's add a spark to this powder keg. A conflict in the Red Sea would be like throwing a wrench into the gears of global commerce. The disruption to trade routes could send shockwaves through the global economy, leading to skyrocketing oil prices and potentially triggering a worldwide recession. The effects would be felt far beyond the countries bordering the Red Sea. Nations around the world, from the United States to China, would feel the pinch as the cost of goods and energy rises. Economies that are heavily dependent on oil exports like Saudi Arabia could suffer a double blow as their primary source of income is threatened. And then there's Yemen, a country that sits on the southern edge of this crucial seaway. Already grappling with economic challenges, a conflict in the Red Sea could further destabilize Yemen's fragile economy. The potential loss of trade and the disruption to its fishing industry, a vital source of income for many Yemenis, could plunge the country deeper into crisis. But the wider implications are just as daunting. In an increasingly interconnected world, any disruption to the global supply chain could have far-reaching consequences. Everything from the price of your morning coffee to the cost of your next vacation could be affected. A war in the Red Sea wouldn't just be a local conflict, its impact would reverberate across the globe. So what would a war in the Red Sea mean for Yemen's wealth? Imagine a bustling marketplace with traders haggling over prices, the scent of spices in the air, the sound of laughter and lively conversation. Now picture that same marketplace, not with the vibrant colors of commerce and life, but with the gray tones of destruction and despair. This could be the reality for Yemen if war were to break out in the Red Sea. Yemen's economy is deeply intertwined with the maritime trade routes that crisscross the Red Sea. Every year, billions of dollars worth of goods pass through these waters. If conflict were to erupt, the vital lifeline of trade could be severed, plunging Yemen's economy into a tailspin. But it's not just about trade. Yemen's oil facilities, a significant source of the nation's wealth, could find themselves in the line of fire. The destruction of these facilities would not only mean a loss of immediate revenue, but also a long-term setback. The cost of rebuilding would be astronomical, diverting funds from other essential sectors like education, healthcare, and infrastructure development. In the face of such adversity, the resilience and resourcefulness of the Yemeni people would be tested to their limits. The war wouldn't just be an economic disaster, it could spell a humanitarian catastrophe. Imagine a nation already grappling with the challenges of poverty, now having to deal with the fallout of a full-blown conflict. Access to basic necessities like food, water, and medical supplies could be severely restricted. The very fabric of society could be torn apart as people struggle to survive and maintain a semblance of normalcy. The toll of such a conflict wouldn't just be measured in economic terms. It would be counted in lost opportunities, in shattered dreams, in lives disrupted. The true wealth of Yemen lies in its people, their hopes, their dreams, their potential. A war in the Red Sea could rob them of their chance to thrive, to prosper, to build a better future for themselves and their children. A war would not just diminish Yemen's wealth, it could bring about a humanitarian crisis of unimaginable proportions. Is there a way out? Can we prevent such a catastrophic scenario? The answer, thankfully, is a resounding yes. But it requires us to step back from the brink and embrace the path of diplomacy and peaceful resolution. In the volatile arena of international politics, the importance of diplomacy cannot be overstated. It is the art of navigating through the complex web of international relations, of resolving conflicts not with guns and bombs, but with words and treaties. It is about building bridges where there were once walls and fostering understanding where there was once enmity. In the Middle East, and particularly in Yemen, the role of diplomacy is crucial. Amidst the turmoil, there are concerted international efforts to maintain peace and stability in the region. The United Nations, for instance, is relentlessly working towards facilitating dialogue and fostering cooperation among the regional powers. But it's not just about preventing conflict. It's about promoting economic development too. Major powers have a significant role to play here. Consider Saudi Arabia's ambitious Vision 2030 and the trillion-dollar megacity project, NEOM. These initiatives aim to diversify the region's economy, attract global investment, and create a hub for technology and innovation. They have the potential to uplift the entire region, including Yemen, and set it on a path towards prosperity. However, these projects are not without their critics, and they raise valid concerns, such as the impact on traditional values and potential human rights violations. It's essential that these issues are addressed head-on and that the development of the region does not come at the expense of its people's rights and freedoms. In the end, it all comes down to this. Can we, as a global community, prevent conflict and promote peace? Can we foster economic development while preserving human rights and traditional values? The stakes are high. The wealth of Yemen, and indeed, the stability of the world, depends on our ability to answer these questions affirmatively. The wealth of Yemen, and indeed the stability of the world, depends on our ability to prevent conflict and promote peace. Let us hope we are up to the task.